Okay, welcome everyone to our Tuesday evening Bhagavad Gita discussion. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarini Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Once again, welcome everyone. So we are discussing chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita, and we had discussed up to text 23 in the last session. So text 16 onwards, Lord Krishna is speaking about the 4 type of people who do not approach him, and then 4 type of people who approach Krishna. And out of those, the one who is in knowledge, Jnani, he is most dear to Krishna. And then Krishna speak about the situation or the position of other people who approach other Devi Devatas, that the worshipper of other Devi Devata, they go to the abode of other Devi Devata. Worshipper of me, they come to my abode. So Krishna has spoken about the 4 type of people. Chaturvida Vajante Mam. So 4 type of people, they start to render devotional service. Bhajante Mam. And ultimately Krishna will lead to who come to the stage of Bhajante Dradavratam, who render devotional service with full determination. So the progress from Bhajante to Bhajante Dradavratam. So that is the progression. So somebody starts rendering devotional service, but then coming to the stage of rendering devotional service with utmost determination. Okay, so text 24 onwards, now Krishna is going to speak about people who cannot understand Krishna. They either consider Krishna to be also as made of material elements or covered by the illusory energy, or they think that earlier the Supreme Lord is impersonal, now he has appeared by assuming a personal form. So people have different conception. So Krishna says some people, they cannot understand me because I hide myself with my yoga-māyā curtain. So that is from where text 24 is starting. So text 24, avyaktam vyaktim apannam manyante mam abuddhayah parmam bhavam ajananto
आपके
mama
साथ I cannot read.
anuttamam.
Speed different है, मेरी speed different. Okay, so what Krishna is saying here is unintelligent man, abuddhaya. So the unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly, they think that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, was impersonal before, and now I have assumed this personal form. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature. Mam avyayam anuttamam. So they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme. So here, some people, they claim that God is only formless, while other, they have this understanding that Supreme Lord only exists in personal form. So both these points of view, both these viewpoints are in one sense restricting and incomplete. God is perfect and complete, and therefore he can exist both as formless and with a form. That is the complete understanding of the Supreme Lord. Sagun and Nirgun. He is formless also and he is with form also simultaneously. So here in this verse, Krishna is speaking about Brahmavadis, okay, impersonalists, whose inclination is towards Brahman. And they consider Brahman to be highest truth. So Krishna addresses them as less intelligent, abuddhaya. They are less intelligent. And among the people who accept both aspects of God's personality, the debate sometimes comes regarding which is higher. Is the formless Brahman is the origin, the cause of the form also, or the supreme personality of Godhead with form is the highest truth? So if somebody believes both aspects, impersonal and personal, Sagun and Nirgun, but then this question comes, which one is higher? From whom the other form comes? Okay. So sometimes they quote it like, okay, it's like the egg and chicken. Who came first? But Krishna is clearly stating in Bhagavad Gita that the Bhagwan aspect, the personality of Godhead with a personal form, that Bhagwan aspect is the highest. Okay, Krishna told that in 7th chapter earlier verses, Mattah paratram nanyat. Okay, so 7.8 Krishna told this, there is no truth superior to me in the form of me standing here as Krishna. So there is no truth superior to me. So Krishna is saying the form of Krishna, that is the highest reality, the Bhagavan feature. So the supreme realization, it begins from the impersonal Brahman, then it rises to the localized Paramatma aspect, the super soul, but then the ultimate word in the absolute truth is the personality of Godhead. So now in text 7.24, Krishna is talking about those people who cannot understand Krishna's supremacy. And in chapter 9 also one similar verse will come. Okay, there Krishna speaks about Mayavadis, who think that form of Krishna is also made of material elements. Form of Krishna is also under the influence of Maya. So that is Mayavad philosophy. They think earlier Supreme is only Brahman, but he accepts a form which is also made of material elements. So his form is also like our form. So Krishna addresses such Mayavadis as fools. For the Brahmavadis, Krishna is referring to them as less intelligent, but for Mayavadis, Krishna addresses them as complete fool. Okay, so in the previous verse 723, Krishna said, the Devi Devatas and myself as Lord Krishna have our forms and we have our own planets also. Right? Krishna said the worshipper of the Devi Devatas, they go to the planets of Devi Devatas, whereas my worshipper come to my planet to reside with me. So it means both Devi Devatas and Krishna, they all have forms and all of them have their planets. So none of them is impersonal. But the impersonalists are inclined to, generally they take to the process of panch upasana. Okay, they think ultimately God is formless, it's Brahman, but within this material world we have to accept some forms to develop our attraction for them as a beginning process. Ultimately, we have to go beyond Nama Rupa. Okay, ultimately, we have to go to the Brahman, impersonal Brahman. So that is their philosophy. So within this material world, to start the process, they take to the process of Panchopasana. So they worship the five personalities. What are these five personalities? Surya, Ganesh, Durga, Vishnu, and Shiva. Okay, so these are the five personalities which are widely worshipped as the process of Panchopasana. So in our Hinduism, if we see, mostly people are following this process of Panchopasana, that okay, you can worship any of these five personalities, and these are the five different personalities which are mostly worshipped, right? Surya, people worship Surya Narayan, people worship Lord Ganesha, people worship Durga, people worship Lord Shiva, or some people come to the level of worship of Lord Vishnu. So they say you have to just accept one form, ultimately all are same, but to start as their process, ultimately you have to go beyond Namarup. So they say Nirakar Brahma ke Sakar Roop hai ye Panchdev. Okay, just to tell you in Hindi. So they think Nirakar Bhagwan, he comes in the Sakar form in these five personalities. And people generally they need to take to this process. And ultimately we want to go beyond this. So Krishna says these people they cannot understand my supremacy. For them I am covered. So that's why the next link to the next verse, the question may come that okay, if you have your eternal form, your qualities, pastimes, then why people are not able to see you at all times? Okay, why we cannot see you? That's why Krishna in next verse, Krishna says, Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavritah mudhoyam nabhijanati loko mam ajam avyayam. So Krishna says, I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. Hey, mudhoyam na abhijanati. The mudhas, the foolish and unintelligent, I am not manifest to them. For them, I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am the unborn and infallible. Lokomam ajam avyayam. So I am the unborn and I am the infallible. So they cannot understand that. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also gives the translation of this verse and commentary. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says, being covered by my yoga-māyā, yoga-māyā samavritah. So being covered by my yoga-māyā, I am not visible at all times, even to my devotees in my spiritual abode. Okay, naham prakasha sarvasya yoga-māyā samavritah. I am covered by my yoga-māyā potency. So even to my devotees, I am not visible all the times. So then what to speak of these mudhas, the foolish people, they cannot understand me. Though temporarily appearing in this material world, this time Krishna appearing as the son of Devaki and Vasudev, that they cannot understand that I am without the birth and certainly have no material birth. Loko mam ajam avyayam. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Krishna is saying in this verse that I am even not visible to my devotees all the time. I cover up myself by Yogamaya potency, right? Like in the pastime of Yashoda Mata, when she saw all the universes in the mouth of Krishna, when Krishna ate little dirt and Yashoda Maya told Krishna, open your mouth. And she saw all these universes inside the mouth of Krishna. What did Krishna do? Immediately, Krishna covered himself with Yogamaya curtain, with Yogamaya potency. And Yashoda, she fainted, and after that, again, she started thinking Krishna to be just an ordinary child, his own son, and forgot that Krishna is the supreme. So Krishna says, I cover up myself by my Yogamaya potency, even for my devotees. And example given here is just like the sun. right? The sun in the sky is not visible to all the people at all the time. So the sun is sometimes visible, sometimes it's not visible, and it's not visible to everybody at the same time. Okay, when the sun is visible in USA, it may not be visible in India or China. When the sun is visible in India or China, it may not be visible here. And many times the sun is covered by the clouds. Now, this is a different point, that it's not the sun which is covered by the cloud, but it is our eyes, our vision, which is covered by the clouds, because the cloud cannot cover sun. Clouds cover our vision. So same way, this yoga-māyā potency, it covers our vision. It doesn't cover Krishna. We have to understand that point. Yoga-māyā is not covering Krishna, but yoga-māyā is covering our vision. So for the devotees, Krishna may be covered by the yoga-māyā potency. And for the non-devotees, for the atheists, for the non-believers, it is the Maya, the Mahamaya, which covers up the person. So Krishna's energy works in both ways. It is in external energy as well as internal potency. So it's a Mahamaya or the Yogamaya potency. Now, it may be argued that since Krishna was visible to everyone when he was present on this earth, then how can it be said that he is not manifest to everyone? Okay, so Krishna says, I am not visible or not manifest to foolish and unintelligent. Just like in the Kuru dynasty, in the Kuru assembly, in the assembly of Yudhishthira Maharaj during the Rasya Yagya, when they decided to do Agra Puja for Krishna, there were few people who could not accept Krishna for this Agra Puja. Shishupal misspoke about Krishna. Okay, and another important point is whenever the Lord appears within this material world, he also just act out like an ordinary people of that time. He has some powers just little bit higher than the people of that time. For example, in Dwapar Yuga, that time everybody has some magical powers. Even Duryodhana had some magical powers. All the Pandavas, they had their powers. And Krishna, he is the Supreme Lord. He also exhibited some magical power. And the other people think Krishna also to be just like ordinary person like them, maybe having little more magical power than them. That's what Duryodhana was thinking. That maybe yes, Krishna is also some magician. He has some powers. I also can show some magic. I also can do some tricks, and Krishna can maybe do a little bit better than me. That's what his thinking was. But we know Kunti Devi, she prays to Lord Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, very beautiful verses come as prayers of Kunti Devi. So what she is saying is, Namasya Purusham Tvadhyam Ishwaram Prakrate Param Alakshayam Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahir Avasthitam. So Kunti Devi, she is telling Krishna, Namasye, I pay my obeisances unto you. And Krishna may say, why are you paying obeisances unto me? I am your nephew. Kunti Devi say, no, you are the original Purusha. Namasye Purusham Param. So you are the original Purusha. And Krishna may say, yes, everybody is original. Everybody is eternal because soul is eternal. So everybody is eternal, right? Anadhir Adhir Govinda. So everybody is eternal. But Kunti Devi say, no, you are Ishwara. And Krishna may say, well, there are other Ishwaras also, like Surya, Chandra, Indra. They are also controllers. They are also Ishwaras. And then Kunti Devi say, Prakrate Param. You are beyond this Prakrati. You are free from this material nature. You are free from the modes of material nature. But others are not free. Even Brahma, Indra, Surya, they are not free from the modes of material nature. So difference in Krishna's body and our body is made up of the 5 material elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether. But Krishna's body is not made up of 5 elements. Krishna's body is not made up of Panchabhuta or Saptadhatu. Okay, so Krishna's form is Satchit Ananda Rupaya. His form is full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. And then Kunti Devi say, Alakshayam Antarabahir Avasthitam. Alakshayam Sarvabhutanam Antarbahir Avasthitam. You are situated inside everybody as Paramatma, in the body of an ant, to the level of in the body of Brahma. You are situated in everybody, inside everybody as Paramatma, as Super Soul. And you are situated outside everybody also, but still you are invisible. So Krishna is situated both inside, outside, as Krishna himself also declares in Bhagavad Gita, right? Sarvasya chaham hridaya shanivishto. I am situated in everybody's heart. And I am situated everywhere, in every molecule, every particle. Generally for Narasimha prayer, what do we say? Bahir Narasimha, Hridaya Narasimha. Narasimha is outside also, Narasimhadev is inside the heart also. So the devotee thinks Lord is present everywhere. But the atheist think God is not anywhere. Hiranyakashipu challenged Prahlad. If you talk about God, your Vishnu, where is your Vishnu? Hiranyakashipu was saying God is nowhere. And Prahlad said God is now here. He is present here also. Hiranyakashipu said, is your God in the pillar? If he is everywhere, if he is present right now here. And Prahlad was looking at the pillar. He was not looking at the pillar really. He was looking at Lord Nrsimhadev. So atheist may think God is nowhere, but devotee thinks God is now here. So the question comes, okay, if Krishna is situated inside and situated in the heart also, and when somebody goes to heart surgery, doctor open up the heart. If Krishna is inside, why they cannot see? And if Krishna is outside everywhere, then also we should be able to see Krishna. But then why we are not able to see Krishna? Because Krishna is invisible to the eyes of the fool and unintelligent people. So this verse is revealing Krishna's true identity. So Kunti Devi is saying in this verse, even though you are my relative, but this is how I know you. I know you as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And also this verse is showing the greatness of Krishna. Sometimes people will approach some false guru, some dhongi sadhu babas who can do some magic trick, produce some gold by some mystic power, and people start claiming them to be God. Well, if the criteria for somebody to be God is to show some magic, produce some little gold, then let's talk about one who has created all these gold mines, right? So that should be God, who has created all these gold mines and all other minerals and everything. So people start considering any sadhu. Yes, that sadhu may be very gentle. He may be doing some welfare for others, curing some people from some disease. But it does not mean to start claiming that person as God. Okay. So then Kunti Devi also says, Maya Javanikah Channam Aghya Adhokshajam Avyayam. So Kunti Devi is also saying there that you are not visible to everybody. You are invisible because you are covered by the curtain of Maya. Maya Javanikah Channam. So you cover yourself with the curtain of your Maya, just like a actor dressed up is not recognized, right? When some artists, they dress up themselves in a particular character, other people may not recognize. So same way, when the Supreme Lord appears in various forms in this material world, people, general people of this world, are not able to recognize him as the Supreme Lord. Another example is the puppeteer who shows the play of puppets by pulling on the ropes. So people see the puppets moving, dancing, speaking, which is everything done by the person who is pulling the strings. And he is from the background, he is making those sounds, making those voices. So everybody sees puppets, but they do not see the string or the person in the backstage who is making all this happen. So same way, Krishna, he is just like the puppeteer who is making everybody move, who is making everybody dance to its tunes. That's why the Uma Daru Yoshit Ki Nai Sabhi Nachafat Rama Gosai. So Lord Shiva is telling Parvati Devi, Uma Daru Yoshit Ki Nai Sabhi Nachavat Rama Gosai. So he is saying this world is like the stage. Okay? And Krishna, he is the puppeteer who is making everybody dance. So Krishna is the Sutradhar. And then the question as a connection to the next verse, question may come, if everybody gets covered by your Maya, do you also get covered by Maya? Right? Because Krishna is saying, I am not visible to everybody. I am covered up by my yoga-māyā. So it means, do you also come under the influence of yoga-māyā? That question may come. So Krishna answers that question in the next verse. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani cha arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kasyana. So Krishna says, O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all that is going to happen in the future. Vedaham samatitani vartamani cha arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani. So I know everything of the past, present, and future. I also know all living entities, but nobody knows me. Mam tu vedana kasyana. Nobody knows me in full. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur here writes, I know all the things in the past and present. I know everything in the future as well, but no one knows me. So why Krishna is saying this? Krishna is saying is my own knowledge is not covered by the external Maya or the internal Yoga Maya. Since I cannot be bewildered by that to which I give shelter, right? Because Krishna gives shelter to Maya and Yoga Maya. They are Krishna's energies. So Krishna says, I myself do not get bewildered by either my external energy or the internal potency. They are my energies. So I know everything. So Krishna basically here refutes the point that somebody say, when Krishna appear in this world, he is also covered by Maya. Okay, he is also covered by illusion. No, Krishna says, I know everything of the past, present, and future. When Dhritarashtra asked Krishna, why I suffered in this life? First of all, I was born blind, then my son got killed. Why did it happen to me? In this lifetime, I can see I did not do anything wrong. That is the state of Dhritarashtra. He was thinking, I did not do anything wrong. First of all, he did many wrong things in this lifetime also. But Krishna says, and Dhritarashtra actually says, I can look into my previous life also. I have that capacity that I can look into my previous lifetime also, that I did not do anything wrong. Krishna says, you can look only into this life or one previous life, but I can look all your previous unlimited lifetimes. Okay, so Krishna says, I know all the past, present, and future. So, and this point also Krishna is making to further clarify the point on the personal form and impersonal form. That's why Krishna is saying, I know all past, present, and future. So if the form of Krishna, the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead was Maya, okay, if it was made of material, as the impersonal is considered, then like all other living entities, all other ordinary people like us, he will also change his body and forget everything about his past life. Because anyone with a material body cannot remember their past life, nor they can tell the future. Or even we cannot predict the outcome of our present life also. So we cannot know everything of our past, present, or future unless one is liberated from the material contamination, unless somebody is liberated from this material energy. He cannot know the past, present, and future. Like there are some great saintly people, sages in the history who were known as Trikaladarshi, right? Who could look up into the past, present, and future, but that's also limited to certain level. How many past lives they can look up, or how much in the future they can look up. But Krishna says, I know everything of the past, present, and future of all the unlimited living entities. Okay, not of one person, two-person, of everybody. So then what does it mean when Krishna says no one knows me? I know everything, but nobody knows me. What it means is no one knows Krishna in full. We may know something about Krishna, something about Krishna's energies, but we cannot know him to the fullest extent. Why? Because his energies are also ever expanding. So this is not possible to know Krishna in full. And when Krishna says, I know the past, present, and future, we also try to know about the past, but our knowledge of the past is limited. Right? We can know about the past by some um, historical records, some archaeological studies, but Krishna's knowledge of the past is from time immemorial. We also try to know about the future, right? We try to know our future by palm reading, by our what you call astrological charts. But Krishna knows everything about the future. And he declares here that he is Trikaladarshi. He knows everything. We forget what we ourselves were thinking maybe a few hours back. But Krishna remembers the thoughts, the words, the deeds of each and every living entity in all the universes at every moment of their life. And just imagine how much, what do you call, as the storage space Krishna has in the memory. So if Krishna knows everything, then another question comes, that is everything planned? Are we like robots without any independence? Because Krishna says, I know everything what is going to happen in the future. It means everything is predetermined. Then if everything is planned, then are we like robots? We do not have any independence. But we need to understand here very carefully. The point is Krishna's knowledge of the future is like our knowledge of the past. So what do I mean by that is, we may know something about our past, but we cannot do anything about that, right? We cannot change the past. Even if we know, okay, 10 years back I did this, 20 years back I did this, I have some knowledge of my past. I may repent also about something, lament about something, but now I cannot do anything about that. Okay, so Krishna's knowledge about the future, he knows everything about the future, but Krishna does not do anything to change, because Krishna has given our free will. He does not want to check our free will. So the only difference here is we may know something about the past, but we cannot do anything about it. And Krishna knows about the future, but Krishna does not want to do it, because Krishna has given us little free will, that minute independence. And we are given the choices to make, and we are free to make the choices and face the consequences accordingly. And Krishna knows what kind of choices we are going to make. That is his knowledge of the future. He knows that, okay, this person, I have given him free will, and these are the choices he's going to make, and he predicts what is going to be the outcome of that. That's how he knows the future. Just like if you are traveling in plane, okay, you take a flight from Detroit to go to Washington. Now, on the plane, you can make some choices. If they give something to eat, Do you want to eat that or not? If they are serving various beverages, you can choose what you want to drink. So there are certain choices you can make. You can choose to make friendship with somebody on the plane sitting next to you, or you can get in fight with that person. And accordingly, we face the consequences. But we are given with choices at every step, not that we are programmed like a robot. And another example is a child has a teacher, and the teacher is telling him all the best things, right? He's teaching him the best. But if the child does everything as per the teacher, he can get a grade. And if the child does not follow anything what the teacher says, that is the choice the child has, either to study or to not study. So if the child does everything what the teacher is saying, he can get good result. If the child does not do what the teacher is saying, he will fail. So the child has, even though he is given the best teacher, best resources, but still the child has the free will. He has the choice to make. So same way, Krishna has given us the choices to make. Krishna does not interfere with our choices, but Krishna knows what kind of choices we are going to make. And even though what choices we make, what kind of outcome it's going to give us. So that is the meaning what Krishna is telling, that I know the past, present, and future of everybody. So in this one verse, Krishna is revealing many things. He is revealing about his identity, that I am not covered by my external energy or internal energy, by yoga-māyā or mahamaya. I am the Supreme Lord. And also that he knows about everything, about the thoughts, the words, the deeds of every living entity, but nobody can know Krishna in full. So the next verse, then the question may come as a connection to next verse. Then, okay, you are saying everybody is covered up by your Maya. At what stage the living entities become bewildered by your Maya? Okay, when does that happen? When do they get covered up by your Maya? The next verse, 27, is a very important verse, very often quoted verse. Okay. Ichha dvesha samuthena dvanda mohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sargayanti parantapah. O son of Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by the dualities arising from the desire and hate. Ichha dvesha samuthena dvanda mohena bharata. So everybody is covered up with these dualities. What are these dualities? Which arise from desire and hate. Ichha dvesh, likes and dislikes. And because of these dualities, they are put into illusion, which further leads to delusion, some moha. Okay. So, and what did it happen? Everybody is born into that from time immemorial. As soon as we came in contact with material energy, material nature, these dualities came, and these dualities gave us illusion, which leads to some moha, delusion. So moha is illusion, some moha is delusion. Okay. Now you can think of this moha and sammoha as, moha is something caused by the external influence, sense perception. Okay, that is moha, illusion. I may see something, but my seeing may not be factual. Okay, that may be illusion. Like seeing the water on the road during a very sunny day, or seeing a stick to be tapered when it is inserted into a water glass. Those kind of things are sense perception as illusion. So illusion is something that is caused by external influence. But delusion, some moha, is caused by one's internal feelings. And these illusions can lead to delusion. Because of the illusion, we may form up some particular thought process, some particular misconception. Okay, so the illusion may lead to delusion. That's what Krishna is telling here, that because of the dualities of desire and hatred, people are illusioned, and because of that illusion, they develop certain what do you call certain thought process or certain what vichardhara. Okay, particular impression gets into our mind. So that is delusion. So everybody is born into that, in this material nature, into this material world with those things. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur translates it as, since the beginning of creation, all living beings have been intensely bewildered by the ignorance caused by duality arising from likes and dislikes, the ichha dvesh. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is terming moha as ignorance and sammoha as bewilderment. So because of the ignorance caused by the dualities of like and dislike, everybody is bewildered from the beginning of creation. Okay, so the question may come was, since when this illusion came up, or since when the living entity is covered by Maya? So Krishna is saying from the beginning of creation. Okay, so Krishna says this dualities of desire and hate, they lead to illusion, Brahma, because I like this, I do not like this. And due to this Brahma, this illusion, one is born into delusion. They get their fixed some wrong ideas, some particular mindset develops, people develop particular type of vicharadhara. So how does that happen? That happen because of the desire for objects which are favorable to their senses, or hated for those things which obstruct the pleasure of the senses. Okay. So basically, let's say respect, disrespect, hot, cold, happiness, distress, man, woman. So all these sort of dualities, they lead to illusion. A person thinks, I am happy because I am respected. Oh, I am sad today because I am disrespected. Oh, this is my wife, this is my husband, this is my son. I like this neighbor, I do not like that neighbor. So all these likes and dislikes, all these dualities, they give rise to complete ignorance, moha, which in turn gives rise to complete bewilderment, some moha, because it leads to many times extreme attachment or extreme hatredness. So Krishna says those who are extremely attached, they are not qualified for devotion to me. Okay, so because of the desires are so much, they never finish. The desires never end. Somebody said, even if we take the whole sky as paper and ink as much as the water in the ocean and start writing, the paper and ink will be done, but still the desires will not be finished. That is the state of desires. So everybody is filled with desires. That's why Shankaracharya writes, Angam galitam palitam mundam dashana vahinam jatam tundam vriddho yati gritva dandam tadapi na muchyati asha pindam. That the whole body has turned pale, the person has grown too old, his teeth has fallen out, all the hair on his head has turned gray or fallen out. He is walking with a stick, vriddho yati gritva dandam. Tadyapina muchyati asha pindam. Still, the desires do not leave the person. Sometimes people think, as I grow old, my desires will be all done, then I will take to spiritual life. But no, this does not happen. As we grow older and older, still the desires do not end. Okay, and Shankaracharya is revealing the reality of life. And so people talk about so many diseases. Somebody may say TB, cancer, knee problem, this, that. As per the World Health Organization, what is the deadliest disease in 21st century is desire. Okay, desires are the deadliest disease. And all these advertisements which come up, they target on selling things which are not needed. If you notice, the whole advertisement agency runs on this agenda to sell those things which we don't need. And whatever they are selling, they may be selling rice, atta or something, but are they really selling those basic things? No, they are selling the brand. Okay, the whole advertisement is for the brand. So these desires, they never end. And then hatred, we have hatred at multiple levels. Hatred could be towards the other people who are more happy than us. Hatred could be towards sometime other people, even in devotees also. The hatred may come towards other devotees of Krishna also. Why that devotee is better than me? So everybody generally thinks what is mine is best, right? They think my brother or my father or my mother. And still with to the devotees also, sometimes that mentality may come. Oh, this devotee, because he comes to my program, I like him. The other devotee, he does not come to my program, I don't like him so much. So because this devotee, he is working as per what I tell him, so I like him. But the other devotee, he doesn't listen to me, he doesn't do what I tell him, so I don't like him. So it may develop in the devotee community also. Like in the story of Dhruva Maharaj, what do we read? Dhruva Maharaj, so Suruchi and Suniti. Surichi thought my son Uttama is best. See, his name is also Uttama. Uttama is best. See what she was thinking, my son Uttama is Uttama. I don't like Dhruva because he is not my son. And Duryodhana, example of Duryodhana is, he was also thinking, I am best. Dronacharya once told Duryodhana to go find a person who is better than him. Okay, and Duryodhana went all around the capital and he came back alone. He said, I could not find anybody who is better than me. I am best. And on the other side, Dronacharya told Yudhishthira, you go find a person who is worse than you. Yudhishthira Maharaj again went everywhere and he came also alone, empty handed. He says, I could not find anything who is worse than me. I am the worst person. That was the difference in the vision of Yudhishthira and Duryodhana. Duryodhana was thinking, I am best. Who can be better than me? Okay, so people may develop hatred towards other people who are more successful, even towards other devotee community also. And to the extreme level, people develop hatred towards Krishna. They are envious of Krishna. Why Krishna should be the center? We want to be the center. And in first place, that is the reason we had to come in contact with this material nature because of envy with Krishna. Ichha dvesha. We had the desire to enjoy, and we had that dvesha towards Krishna. That why Krishna to be in the center. And that is the reason Krishna says everybody is born into this material nature under this illusion. So as long as somebody has envy, there is no entrance to the spiritual world. Envy means N and V, letter N V, no vacancy. Okay, so until we have envy in the heart, there is no vacancy for us in the spiritual world. So we need to give up these tendencies for desire and hatred. Running behind the material desires is more dangerous than to avoid miseries. Like a serpent is deadly, but the serpent with jewel on his hood is even more deadly. Okay, so somebody who is running behind these material desires is even more dangerous. So next verse, now Krishna goes to the next verse to tell, okay, then who is qualified for bhakti? Yes, everybody is covered with illusion. Everybody is born into this illusion. That's why they cannot understand me. Then who is qualified for bhakti? So text 28, Krishna explains, Yesham tva antagatam papam jananam punyakarmanam te dvandamoha nirmukta bhajate mam dridhavrataha. So this is the verse where Krishna is now taking from the progression from bhajante to bhajante mam dridhavratam. As I said in the beginning, text 16 onwards, Krishna is speaking about the four type of people who starts doing bhajan, bhajante. Chaturvida bhajante mam. Okay, four type of people who come towards Krishna, who approach Krishna. But now who becomes fixed in devotion, bhajante with dhradavrata. So here Krishna says, Yesham tva antagatam papam, jananam punya karmanam. Persons who have actually acted piously and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated. They are freed from illusion. Te dvandva moha nirmukta. So their illusion is now removed. And they engage themselves in my service with determination. Dhradavrataha. So जिन लोगों ने अपना पिछले जन्मों में और इस जन्म में कुछ पुण्य कर्म किए हैं, जिनके पाप कर्मों का फल खत्म हो चुका है, they are freed from illusion and now they engage in my service with determination. So this verse is answering. Okay, so those who have punya karma, who have destroyed the sins partially, at least to that level that now they have predominance of sattva guna, they have diminished tamo guna, and the result of that is the decrease in illusion. Their illusion has gone down to a level that at least they come to the process of devotional service. So consequently, they become less attached to material things. They have now a chance association with devotees. So they come in contact with devotees. They have some bhakti sukriti, not just regular punya. Krishna is not talking about some regular punya karma here. Krishna is talking about bhakti sukriti, that they have done some bhakti sukriti, agyat sukriti, where they by chance came in contact with some devotees, they appreciated the devotees, did some service to the devotees, and because of that they accumulated this bhakti sukriti, because of which their illusion has now reduced and they start to engage in my devotional service. And once they start to engage in my devotional service, their sinful tendencies, the previous sinful reaction, they further are reduced and ultimately they are removed. So one should not here, very careful, okay? One should not think that punya karma, the regular punya karma is the cause of bhakti. No, that is not what this verse is telling. What this verse is saying is that somebody who has got rid of their sinful reaction by some bhakti sukriti. Okay, it's not about some regular sukriti like somebody feeding the poor or giving blankets, because that has already been explained that those punya karma, those pious activities are also binding. Okay, for the good, one has to come back and accept the good reaction. For bad also, one has to come back and accept the bad reaction. For the regular papa and punya, there is that account goes on. For the good, we come back to accept the good. And while somebody has come back to accept the good, they may ultimately again end up doing some sin also. For example, because of his previous punya, somebody has done some charity, and because of that, now they got a higher birth in opulent family, and now they have a lot of opulence, but now because of those opulence, they are engaging in some sinful activities, going to the casinos, going to the pubs, enjoying drinking, intoxication and all. So because of that pious karma, they got opulences, and that may also be binding because now they end up doing sinful activity. So here, what Krishna is talking about is not just regular punya, but the sukriti gained by somebody engaging in agyata sukriti, bhakti sukriti. And then they come in contact with devotees, they start practicing in the association of devotees, and then they get this bhakti. Bhakti comes from bhakti. Bhakti does not come from any ordinary punya. So that one has to understand. One should not think, अरे मैंने अपने पिछले जन्म में कुछ तो पुण्य किया होगा जिसकी वजह से अभी मुझे भक्ति मिली. No, bhakti is not because of some ordinary punya. Bhakti comes from bhakti. Somebody who has bhakti in their heart, they can give bhakti. So when we come in contact with devotees, because they have bhakti in their heart, they give bhakti to us. So when we start practicing, but we may still have that hankering. Oh, should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I go to Bhakti Rickshaw? Should I not go? Should I go to temple? Should I not go? So when we start practicing in the beginning stage, still we have that hankering. Ultimately, we may end up committing sometime wrong activities also. And then we have lamentation. Oh, why did I do this? Okay? So this hankering and lamentation, it goes on during our earliest phase of practice of bhakti also. But then this curve of hankering and lamentation slowly goes down. Okay, it slowly fades away as we continue to progress or practice bhakti, our sadhana bhakti. And then one becomes steady in their practice. So how the bhakti starts? Sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti. So we came in the association of devotees, then we started taking to the process of bhajana kriya, and then with bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti happens. Our these anarthas of hankering, lamentation, they goes down to that level where now we can become steady. So sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti, then comes nishtha. Means at least we become steady in our process of in our practice of sadhana bhakti. It's not that anarthas have completely gone 100%. No, anarthas have gone down to that level at least where we become steady. Okay, so we start practice of bhakti, but we still have the desire also to enjoy. It's just like somebody is traveling in a train, and every station where the train stops, this person want to get down and eat something. Okay, look here and there. So train keeps stopping. But if the person is just looking here and there and getting down from the station and just spending time in eating or spending time looking here and there, sometimes the train may leave also. So one in the beginning, yes, one may in practice of bhakti also, one may be looking here and there, trying to enjoy here and there, but one should not just get completely distracted by that he gives up the process of bhakti. Like the person who gets down from train, he just doesn't settle down on the station and let the train go, right? He again gets back on the train. So same way, in the beginning stage, yes, that little hankering may be there, but ultimately one need to give up that hankering and continue moving forward. So as we continue in the process of our sadhana bhakti, we remove all our previous sinful tendencies, and then one starts developing that determination. So the journey from bhajante to bhajante dhradavrata, this is what Krishna is telling here. And for those who are sinful, atheist, foolish, deceitful, it is not possible to transcend the illusion, okay, caused by the desire and hatred. Okay, now next question may come then, okay, if somebody is able to take to this process of bhakti, then what is the result of bhakti? Then Krishna explained, text 29 and 30, Krishna is telling the result of bhakti. So I will just go very briefly over these two verses, will not go too much detail as we are running out of time. So Krishna says, text 29, those who are striving for liberation from old age and death, jara and mrityu, okay, old age and death. Those who are striving for liberation from old age and death, having taken shelter of me, mam ashritaha, they come to know everything about the absolute truth, Brahman, individual self, and the entire subject of action and reaction. So Krishna says they know everything about Atma, Paramatma, and the Karma Bandhan. What is the activity and the result of that activity? So they get to know about everything. So somebody may try to get liberation on the strength of yoga practice. Their goal is to merge in the Brahman. Somebody may be following the process of jnana. Okay, they want to know themselves as Atma. They want to realize that I am this, not the body, but the soul. They are by the process of jnana. But they cannot get complete success or they cannot know everything. But Krishna says, if somebody takes my shelter, mam ashritaha, when somebody engages in the process of bhakti, they take my shelter, then they get complete success. Because Jnani and Yogi, they are on their own. But Krishna takes care of the bhakta. Bhakta is held by Krishna. So those yogis who strive to destroy the old age and death, okay, jara, marana, and who desire liberation, they are mokshakami. They consequently worship me, know all about the famous Brahman, okay, the Supreme Lord. They know about the Jiva, Adhyatmam, which is the controller of the body, basically, right? Atma is the controller of the body. So they know about the Adhyatma and also the repeated bodies of Jiva generated from all type of karma, the karma akhilam, due to the power of devotion to me. So Krishna is saying they come to know everything because of their devotion. And then in text 30, Krishna says, Sa adhibhuta adhidevam mam sa adhi yagyam cha me vidhu prayan kale api cha mam te vidhur yukta chetasaha. So those who are in full consciousness of me, they know me as the Supreme Lord, the governing principle of all the material manifestations. Sa adhibhuta. So they know me as the governing principle of all the material manifestation. Adi Devam, they know me as the governing principle of all the Devi Devatas. Okay, Adi Devam. Sa Adi Yagyam, they know me as the governing principle of all the sacrifices. So they can understand me in that way even at the time of death. Prayana Kale Api Chamam. So they understand me and remember me in this way even at the time of death. Who are in full consciousness of me. Te vidhu yukta chetasaha. So those who develop such knowledge of me by the influence of devotion to me, they maintain that knowledge even at the time of death. Okay, so Krishna says they can remember me even at the time of death. Otherwise it's not easy to remember Krishna at the time of death. Person will remember only those things to which he has developed attachment in the life. That's what he will remember. Those all things will go in the memory at the time of death. But somebody who has developed attachment for Krishna, who has done devotional service to Krishna, even at the time of death, they will be able to remember Krishna. And in Garuda Purana, I believe, it says, if my devotee is not able to remember me because of the difficulty experienced at the time of death, I remember my devotee. Okay, so that is Krishna's promise. So Krishna says, somebody who has developed attachment to me, engaged in my devotion, they remember me at the time of death also. So that is the benefit of engaging in devotional service. So we need to keep Krishna in the center of all our activities. Not that we do some pious activities without Krishna in the center. What to speak of doing pap? Okay. So even punya, one should not do even the pious activities without keeping Krishna in center. Duryodhana wanted Krishna's army, not Krishna. And Arjuna wanted only Krishna to be on his side. Even at the war of Virat, before this whole Kurukshetra war happened, at the war of Virat also, Arjuna could have killed everybody. But he was thinking Krishna is not here and all these people will not get the benefit of dying in absence of Krishna. So that was the thought process of Arjuna. He wanted to do a better surgery in presence of a better surgeon to give them the better benefit, that they will die in presence of Krishna, then they will get a higher destination. So we should be keeping Krishna in the center of all our activities. Okay. So this ends the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and we'll stop here. And let's see if anybody has any questions, comments, discussions. Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Vijay Prabhu.
Okay, Krishna knows everything. So he knows everything because he's seated in everybody's heart.
Yes.
So that way, I think he knows everything. And whatever we as a person think, it's our intellect. We always think from our intellect, which is our brain. So, which is whatever free will we say. So that and what Krishna is trying to say, that is through the heart, right? There can always be a conflict.
Yeah, because Krishna is there in the heart as super soul, and Krishna is trying to guide us. But how well are we connected with Krishna to hear Krishna's voice? Okay, even though Krishna is speaking from the heart, but we are hearing our mind. We are hearing from our mind. Whenever we are getting some inner voice, we should not mistakenly think this is Krishna trying to tell me, Krishna is guiding me, because most of the time our mind is trying to tell us. Okay, we are not at that stage, at that purified stage, to be able to hear Krishna's voice. We are getting the dictations of our mind. And that's why we need the guidance of the scriptures, the guidance of the Guru, because they can amplify the voice of Krishna. They can amplify the voice of the super soul.
So whatever means, even in the brain, like, just going slightly deeper. So the thoughts and all is imprinted in, say, in our brain. And, for the past life, there may be a layer of thing wherein, it's got improvement. So when we say subconscious mind, it is basically the imprints in the brain, which is there, and that's a thing which we have to, they say that you talk to there's a huge potential, this, that. So they speak about the subconscious mind, which is there inside our intellect or brain.
So we can be talking about the brain as the physical organ here, that yes, under the skull there is an organ named brain. But what is in in the real sense, what is this mind and intelligence? Okay, it's not necessarily this brain, which is 400 gram gray matter and white matter there. And somebody may think more the gray matter, the person is more intelligent. This is not like that. Then elephant should be more intelligent. He has a bigger brain, right? Bigger head. So what is mind and intelligence really? Mind is the storehouse of all the impressions, previous impressions. Okay, and intelligence is a facility given to us to make discrimination, to make choices. So more we strengthen our intelligence, better we have the ability to discriminate between right and wrong. But mind is just the mind's function is thinking, willing, feeling. Okay, based on the previous memories which are stored and based on what we experience right now, it may be posing so many different thoughts. So we don't have to always just think about what mind is proposing. Yes, again, mind, there could be two stages, conscious mind and subconscious mind. And subconscious mind is nothing but all the previous impressions stored. If we have done something so many times repeatedly that it has become like as a second nature. So what we call as a second nature is nothing but as doing of the subconscious mind. Okay, because it has now ingrained in our nature. Like somebody in sleep also may be doing something because they have done that so much that it has now just sunk into their subconscious brain, subconscious mind. Okay, somebody is habitual of doing something that they may do that in the sleep also. But again, the point which we were saying is most of the time, whatever different thoughts or the so-called voices we are hearing from within is the proposals from our mind. Okay, not really that we are in tune with the super soul, that we are able to hear the voice of the super soul. Yes, it comes sometime, right? The inner voice comes. We all may have that experience. You want to do something and the inner voice is telling you, no, you should not do this. This is not the right thing. So that is really the voice which is coming from our super soul. But that voice is so dim that we just ignore that voice many times. Right? So how we can align better with the super soul in the heart is by aligning with the instructions of Shastra and by aligning with the instructions of Guru. Right? Because whatever, let's say, thought is coming from inside, and if we think, oh, Krishna is trying to tell me this, then is that aligning with the direction of scripture? Right? If not, it's not really voice of Krishna. It's my mind is trying to trick me. Somebody may think, oh, this is inner voice coming from me. Inner voice. Super soul is telling me I should go and slap that person or I should shoot that person. Is that really the voice of super soul? Is it my mind is trying to trick me and the person may be thinking, oh, super soul is guiding me to do something to that person.
So
Okay.
normally in the morning times we get certain good thoughts and all, right? That's the time when
Again, that good thoughts also which is coming in mind, every good thought is not really the voice of super soul. Our mind can generate good thoughts also, right? It's not that mind will always generate negative thoughts only. Mind can generate good thoughts also. But again, that good thought, is it really the voice of super soul, or it is just that yes, I have some positivity, I am now under the influence of Satav Guna, right? Mode of goodness. So some positive thoughts, some good thoughts are coming.
these thoughts also are a bit of a kind of energy or waves or something like that, or is it just a
So
subtle form?
yes, all these sort of thoughts may come, some good thoughts also may come, but let's focus here on what are the best thoughts to have. Okay, best thoughts to have is absorb on Krishna, hear about Krishna, read about Krishna, chant the name of Krishna. So we need to align our energy, our thoughts in that direction. Okay, so let's take it to the practical application. Yes, all sort of thoughts may come, but what is the practical application here? Krishna says, when we come in the association of devotees, take to the sadhu sangha, that the association of devotees, and engage in the process of my sadhana bhakti. Right? So is our mind trying to take us away from sadhana bhakti? Is mind always tricking? Oh, why to chant? Why to read? Why to hear? You can do something else also. Is our mind tricking us for those things, or is our mind helping us to engage in sadhana bhakti? Okay, if our mind is tricking us to take us away from that sadhana bhakti, there is a problem. Right?
Yes.
So we just need to watch out for that.
And Prabhuji, one more question, like, desires, right? You said, see, many times, okay, we now come to a stage where we come to know, okay, all those desire of having this, that, which are small as a kid, we not, but uh, if we don't, means, sometimes we feel that, okay, children are there, for them, we have to have some desires. Otherwise, it is so difficult to continue this material world. So, somewhere I feel that, um, this spiritual knowledge brings us the spirit of living this material world down, or it really helps us, in,
Okay. So I will paraphrase your question. Okay. Many times you are speaking in a very polished way. Many people ask the question is spiritual life remove all our ambitions in life? Okay. Coming to the practice of spiritual life, do we have to give up all the ambitions, or it makes us ambitionless?
yeah,
So
something
that's
like
what
that.
people ask generally. So no, actually, coming to the process of spiritual life, you don't become ambitionless, but you become more ambitious. You have a bigger ambition now. What is that bigger ambition? You want to be free from miseries of life. That is the bigger ambition. You want to go back not just to Bahamas or this or that. You want to go to the spiritual world, which is full of happiness. So that's a bigger ambition, right? So one should not think, oh, it's going to make me less ambitious or something. No, devotees become more ambitious actually. That is a better
But
ambition
difficult.
to have. But now answering your question, yes, we may have some desires also, and we have to provide or fulfill the basic desires of our dependents, our children also. So there is nothing wrong in that, because as the example I gave in the earlier, the somebody now traveling in the train, whenever the train stops, person get down and try to eat something or just walk out here and there, watch some things, look some things. So when we take to the process of devotional service, yes, in the beginning it's okay. You can also have little free time for yourself, in the sense you want to go visit some place or spend some time, fulfill some hobby, play some game or something. It's like getting down from the train and doing some other things. But the traveler should not just permanently get down from the train and just stay there without reaching its destination, right? You don't want to miss out the train while trying to enjoy the things on the platform, on the station. So same way, yes, you can have those desires to a certain reasonable level, but not getting too much distracted by those desires. Okay, getting too much passionate about material things. Because second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, what does Krishna say? Dhyayate vishayan pumsa sanghas teshopajayate sanghat sanjayate kama kamat krodha vijayate krodhat bhavati sammoha. So all that fall down starts from there. When we have too many desires, when we come in association with different sense objects. We develop the attachment for those. If we don't get those, it leads to anger. And because of anger, then whole this illusion starts. Okay, so it's okay to have desires for little bit material prosperity or something, but don't get attached to that. Oh, if I don't get that, my whole life is useless. Okay.
Yeah. No. I think we need to define our own boundaries. I mean, where
No,
is the limit?
it's not that we have to define our boundaries. Yes, we have to be careful, but we have to again follow Guru Sadhu Shastra to define our boundaries, not listen to your own mind to define your boundaries. Okay, people misinterpret and they understand many things. Let's say I will tell you one example. Here or everywhere, there is an organization called Amway. Okay, have you heard of Amway?
Yeah,
Okay. Here
I've
earlier
fallen.
they have
I've
changed the
fallen.
name. You have fallen
I've
victim
fallen track
twice.
twice.
Okay. So here they had changed the name from Amway to Quickstar also earlier. Then again they changed back to Amway. So what is that is again kind of as a network marketing kind of thing, right? You make your alliances or something and this, that. And they have big, what do you call, seminars also, or their retreats kind of. Okay, so every 3 months or something, they have their own retreats where they will have people who have achieved something in that organization. They come and they give us big talks as a motivation to kind of motivate others. You can also do it. You can retire in 5 years. In your job, you cannot earn enough. So here you put your energy, effort, everything in this for 5 years, and you can gain so much. And you know what they do? Then on the last day of their retreat, they have some sort of a spiritual session. Okay, all those same speakers who have spoken these big things, kind of gung ho, go and achieve, you can do this, go getter kind of things. And then same people, they will come and speak something on Bhagavad Gita, on Bible, and from Bhagavad Gita they will speak. Oh, because they want to touch the sensitive nerve of people also, right? They want to hold on to the sensitive nerve of people. They will speak. See, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is also telling you should fulfill your desires. Arey bhai, where did Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita you should fulfill all your desires? In second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying somebody who is filled with desires, he cannot be peaceful. If you want to become peaceful, you need to give up desires. But these people will tell, oh, you should fulfill all your desires. Desires big, dream big, and try to fulfill all your dreams. And that's they speak on the name of Krishna. So that's why I'm saying we have to be very careful what we listen, whom we listen, and even to our mind. We don't have to listen to all the desires which are coming from the mind, and don't draw the boundaries based on what your mind is proposing. Okay, mind may say my boundary is I need to earn $1 billion. Okay, when I earn $1 billion, then I will become satisfied. That is my boundary. No, that is your mind proposing. Even after you get $1 billion, mind will say now $1 trillion. Okay. So where do we draw the boundary? Under whose consultation? By consulting whom we draw this boundary. Okay, again, sadhu and Guru Sadhu Shastra. Those are the 3 tracks with guidance of whom we need to come to this understanding. So, okay, I think we had enough discussion today. Okay, thank you, Vijay Prabhu, for all the questions and discussion. Anybody has any other question, or I think we should just stop. No more questions. So we'll continue the discussion in the next session. Okay, thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Bhagavati Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare